Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. I'm Miss Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a Thor um, Ragnarok t-shirt. Anyway, um, so another day, and apparently another mass shooting. This time, it's not from a white racist who was apparently a I don't know if you remember, but the last podcast I did, I was talking about or maybe it was two podcasts ago. Anyway, in the same week, we had the shooter in Buffalo, this white guy who was apparently a hardcore leftist. If you read his, I didn't read it, but if you read his, other people who have read it told me, if you read his manifesto, he's a leftist, which doesn't mean anything. He could have been a rightist, he could have been a centrist. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving his political background because they used to try to blame Trump supporters for doing horrible stuff. But anyway, apparently we had another mass shooting today. This time it was from Salvador Ramos, another 18-year-old, an 18-year-old. He shot up an elementary school. He killed 18 kids and like two adults, like a teacher and just someone else. Anyway, and that number might change, but because before it was 14, and so four kids died from their wounds. But anyway, yeah, once again, the same stuff I said last time. It's always tragic when someone loses their life. Of course, it doesn't matter how they lose their life. You know, the average person with good intentions, the average person who doesn't want to see the world burn, doesn't want to see, stuff like war, mass shootings, pointless violence, just makes no sense. But anyway, we're living in a world where we have a lot of weirdos. We've had the summer of love where apparently it's okay for Antifa and BLM to riot and kill people, and you know, in fact, it's encouraged by some politicians on the left. So you have a culture, at least in America, where violence is encouraged. Like there've been plenty of politicians who have said, if you find a politician that you don't agree with, get in their face, or go to the Supreme Court justice's house and get in their face. Uh, they've been called out to riot because they don't like a court verdict. So it's like you've let violence run rampant the past 3 years, and I'm sure there's some kind of correlation between that and then just the the crazy uptick of mass shootings. Like society's falling apart, and I blame everything I just mentioned. I also blame all the bullshit with people being seven genders and 10 different sexualities, and people thinking it's okay to let 6-year-olds take hormone blockers. Like all this stuff, I think is messing up everything because the more all this stuff has been pushed, notice society has gotten worse. I'm sure there's some correlation because it takes it takes a messed up society to think that all this stuff is okay. All the rioting, all the calls for violence. You got half, you got half the media going, like covering a riot, and they'll go, it's fiery but peaceful. Okay, that makes no sense. So over the past 3 years, whatever, the media has helped, and some politicians have helped with the downfall of society and the woke SJW crowd. The more they're relevant, it seems the more society has gone down the drain. Now I know everything is, it seems like more, more and more things are trying to swing back. The pendulum is trying to swing back to normal. You know, we're living in a society where like, if you tell a joke, you don't know if you're gonna, have your house burned down. Because once again, society's going down the drain. But it's. But anyway, apparently the guy Salvador, Mr. Ramos. Well, I mean he's dead now. But anyway, um, he was earlier in the day. He got into an argument with his grandmother because he was mad that he didn't graduate high school. Then he shot his grandmother, got into a car, sped off, crashed. He crashed near the elementary school. He got out of his car, then went to elementary school and shot up the school. So I don't know if it was planned, but he was wearing body armor and he had a rifle. Um, the thing is, once again, we're gonna lose focus on the real issue. I'm sure we're gonna lose focus on the issue. It's gonna turn into gun control again. And once again, a person who shoots up a school, a person who shoots up a grocery store, a person who just commits a mass shooting just because they commit a mass shooting doesn't care about the law. So they'll get a gun, even though they can get it legally, they will get a gun no matter what if they want to do some bad stuff. The only people that get hurt from whatever gun control are the good citizens that could protect themselves. Now, in this situation, obviously, gun control had nothing to do with this guy being able to kill all these people. Because, it's not like you expect a child to have a concealed carry. But I do think teachers, just the way society is going, I think teachers should should be should be like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, just because okay, like in Jerusalem, the teachers have guns. So, and as far as I know, they don't have school shootings because the teachers have guns on them. And I guess I was trying to like say like what would that be called legally, but I don't have a name for it. Like, I guess like all the teachers would be like deputized or something like, I don't know. But anyway, but I think here in America, just because society's gone down the drain and like schools are like the easiest, like if you want to do a lot of damage to like people, a school's the like one of the easiest places because it's there's usually no armed security. They're easy to get into, and the people, well, especially like in elementary school, like why is there going to be a security guard at an elementary school? They're kids, like high school I understand because they fight apparently, but anyway. But yeah, we need to take a note from Jerusalem. Like the teachers over there carry guns, and guess how many school shootings they have over there? Zero. They have many school shootings over there. How come like we don't? How come our teachers aren't armed? Or okay, if the teachers for some reason if the teachers can't be armed, how come you just don't have? I don't know. I don't know the right number, but let's just say at any given time, there should be like whatever, like 10 cops there. I mean, you have all these cops patrolling the city, right? Okay. So instead of having whatever number of cops, let's say six, 10, I don't know. Like every school's a different size. Just whatever is appropriate for the size. So like like for every like 500 kids at a school, you have one cop. That seems like a good number. I'm just throwing this, pulling numbers out the air, But if teachers can't have guns, just have cops at the school, and like so instead of having this cop whatever patrol this area of the city. He's just or she is just stationed at the school that that day, or that could be the cop's permanent beat. I don't know. You probably have them rotate, I guess, but that would make more sense. And then like you wouldn't have to have any special programs. The cops are paid by our tax dollars, and so you don't have to have a special program because once you start having a special program, the only thing that does is just makes things more corrupt. So you just have some cops be like, hey, you're not gonna patrol this area today. You're gonna actually be at this school and whatever. Now that, and I bet you, if you did that, that would totally cut down on school shootings. Because why would you shoot up a school when there's whatever 6 cops there? You're not gonna do it, guaranteed. Once again, in Jerusalem, there are no school shootings because the teachers have guns. People who commit crimes like this, they pick easy targets. So obviously, when there's a public shooting, they usually don't do a public shooting at the police station. Like they don't go to the police station and shoot it up. They go to like whatever, a school, a store, a place where there's a lot of people with no or little security. Like the guy who shot up the Buffalo store. I think there's only one security guard there. And he shot plenty of people before the security guard got to him because there's only one security guard. Now, because this just happened, the thing in Texas, so we don't know if I don't know, and I say we, I'm talking about my personalities, but I don't know if this was planned because the guy was wearing body armor. So like, but the thing is like he shot his grandmother. Like was he? I want to know if he was wearing the body armor while he shot his grandmother because like was the plan get grandma first and then go shoot up the school because it sounds so random because he crashed his car and then went to the school. So it sounds like he shot his grandma, panicked, sped off, and then just happened to crash by the school. See, to me it seems like he was just gonna go shoot up like any place, and since he crashed by the elementary school, he was, that was his target. But now granted, all this is horrible, but this is America, and you've heard the past couple podcasts. There have been dozens of mass shootings since April. I mean, there have been. I said dozens. That's an exaggeration, but there's been, well, over. Okay, there's been over 20 that I recall just by reading the news. There's been over 20 mass shootings. Okay, that's a lot. There, there's so many mass shootings in America. A lot of them don't get news coverage. Can you believe that? There's so many mass shootings in America. A lot of them don't get news coverage. And this particular one, because it's a Mexican, um, I'm thinking the only reason why this one got news coverage because it was in elementary school. Because like the media hates covering it when it's not a white guy. If it's a white guy doing it, oh, it's a big news. But if it's like a black guy or just any other race, they try not to cover it. Just like the what's it called, the Wasaka, right? The guy, the black guy who took his SUV and like plowed into the parade and killed a bunch of people because he was black, and like they did not cover that story. Like they hid that story because it just goes against the narrative. But anyway, despite all that, horrible, um, news right there, the news media never fails to entertain. So of course, the school shooting, all the parents come to find their child, pick their child up because you're hearing all these kids are dead. Of course, you're gonna go. I'm gonna pick up my daughter, pick up my son, whatever. So this guy comes to the school to pick up his daughter. He can't find his daughter, And so this news reporter is like, um, you know, like I think she has a simple question like, "Where'd you get here?" or like when did you get here? And he's like, "Yeah, I saw it on the news, and so I came here to pick up my daughter." I'm paraphrasing. Like, I saw it on the news, and so like as soon as I saw it on the news, I came here to pick up my daughter, but I can't find her. Okay, I came here as soon as I saw it on the news, but I can't find her. Okay, what do you think the news reporter? What do you think the reporter asks next? What are you worried about right now? Well, I'm worried that I left the stove on because I left my house in a rush. You dumb bitch. She asked him, "What are you worried about right now?" What do you think he said? Yes. Okay, I've given you enough time. He said, "Well, I'm worried that she's not alive." I'm sure you said something like that. He either said, I'm worried about my daughter. I'm worried about her safety. I'm worried that she's one of the 18 that were killed. He said, "Well, I'm worried that she's not alive." What did you think he was gonna say, reporter? What are you worried about right now? Well, I was playing Xbox, but I left in a rush, so I don't know if I put the power save feature on, so I better hurry back home because I don't want it to overheat. What are you worried about right now? Well, I left in such a rush. These shorts don't match the shirt I'm wearing right now. I feel a little embarrassed. I hope no one takes a picture of me. What are you worried about right now? Give me a break. You gotta be kidding me. I I would have gave an answer that would have went viral and would have overshadowed this whole tragedy. So I'm glad I was the one being interviewed. I mean, give me a break. What are you worried about right now? Really? Really? My kid goes to the same elementary school that was just shot up and 18 kids died. And you're asking me what I'm worried about? Oh, well, sure, let me tell you. I'm worried about my last Facebook status. I hope it gets 6 likes. Man, I'm really worried about that. You know? I linked my Facebook page to my Instagram. I, I don't know what to say. Like when I heard her ask that question, I died laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I mean, why would you ask that question? I mean, that is another sign of how society is just going down the drain right now. You know, you got boys thinking the girls, girls thinking the boys, parents thinking it's okay to let little kids have sex changes. That that hurts society. I'm telling you it does. That hurts society. Okay? You've had 3 years of violence. 3 years of violence. That hurts society. The morals, the foundation of our society has been corroding for the past 3 years. And we're seeing an uptick of of violence like I've never seen before. We've seen an uptick of corporations and just people have no business being involved in politics and policy and social policies, trying to make these policies that affect our children. Just everything is just corroding. Okay, I mean, when are people gonna wake up? Like, just so many things just don't make sense. I really don't understand all these people protesting for like this pro choice pro life stuff. I forgot which side, what, like pro life, no, or is it pro choice? But the same people who are protesting for pro choice are the same people who wanted mandates for the vaccine. That makes no sense either. So like, everything's just ass backwards. My body, my choice, except when it comes to this, that makes no sense. You got Democrats, getting on the back of the Roe versus Wade thing, going, my body, my choice. But the Democratic Party is the same party that wanted to mandate the vaccine. What? It's like my body, my choice only when it equals votes. It just it just makes no sense. The politicians make no sense. Half half the people living in America make no sense, and the other half make sense but don't say anything. And that's why shit's gone to hell. Anyway, tomorrow I hope that I can well, I don't watch the news, but I hope that when I'm searching the internet that my news feed doesn't have anything horrible in it. I hope. Anyway, I've said enough. I'll talk to you later. Peace.